Hello, hello.
Good evening.
How are you doing this fine afternoon, evening? Well, actually, I've always wondered what constitutes evening. Like, when does afternoon go into evening?
I'd say past 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that makes. And then night is well. Then technically, when's night? Like, what's the difference between evening and night?
Um, there's only one way to find out.
Oh man,
Evening is 6 until 9 p.m.
interesting. Man, you know, anyone who's joined in the last like week right now is just 100% about to open up and ask for a refund. Like these, nobody's fucking knucklehead featuring anything about business.
It drops so much value and insight now. Nobody's going to have a doubt.
Yeah, some value
Um,
bombs. You ready?
we are. We're going to start with Sarab, who you need to give a big congratulations to.
Tell me more.
He's gone and signed his second client.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Where's the big man?
Let's get him on now.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Hello, hello. The man of the hour. How you doing?
Good, man. I actually just signed my third client today, actually.
Man, we can't keep up.
The wave of fortune thing is real.
When it rains, it pours. Good stuff, dude.
Yeah, man. Kieran, man, I haven't been on these calls in a couple weeks. I see you've been lacking on the uploads of the replays.
Hey, tell Kieran.
Without you reminding me, it's actually a man. He's done too.
All right, so actually, I don't even have any questions to say. All I have to say is actually, do you remember when you did that email thing? And like, if you found the video where you skipped a couple weeks of uploading or like a week of uploading, you get a shout out. I don't think I still haven't gotten my shout out from that.
No, let me bug Tristan about that.
Okay. How's the shout out gonna work?
We'll either do it in the bio
Like
or
my
in
YouTube.
the description or a bit at the end. Yeah, I'll message Tristan now and get it sorted.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, that's all from me, man.
Yep,
Perfect.
awesome.
Well done again.
See you guys.
Chip.
Jose, how are you doing?
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have just two questions. And the first is, what changes have you seen in your OS with your clients because of this iOS 14 update? And how does that affect your deals with the DICOM clients? Does that make you more weighted into the fee side, or you have seen equal results?
Yeah, for sure. So, look, I mean, at the moment, it's first week, so really haven't noticed much of a difference, and can't really give you anything conclusive.
Yeah. Okay. And the second one is, so we have a ecom client here in the jewelry niche, and we are having some problems in writing good copy that resonates with our target people, because I think it's like such a plain product, and we can manage a way to apply this storytelling method. And yeah, we haven't like managed in what way to resonate with those people, like telling a story.
For sure. Well, it's a good thing you've got our own copywriter at IG Media on the call right now. So you want to pull up some copy and
Of course, yeah. And can you pull up that copy, Jose? I'll promote you to a panelist now, and also just remind me the niche you're in. Sorry, he will remind us once he rejoins.
yeah.
Here we go, Jose. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, so you can share your screen now if you want to, and can you also just remind me the niche that you're in?
Okay, so right now I can share screen, unfortunately, but in the jewelry niche, and specifically in necklaces, bracelets.
I got it. Cool. So, who is this aimed at?
Excuse me.
Who is the target audience for this? Is it, is it engagement rings, for example?
I think it's like a low range jewelry. Is some type of, if you want to see it that way, like cheap. And our focus is in giving a good product and not paying as much as some brands that you may think that are overvalued. And so our focus is to give people jewelry that makes them feel good, look good, but with a
Yeah.
cheaper, more reasonable price.
Okay, well, perfect. There's the story there, is that you're using the exact same materials, design, manufacturing process as other brands, but that you're able to offer it at this price. So people are just paying for quality, they're not paying for branding.
Yeah, sure. So you will say that we focus on that side, on like writing the most out of it.
Yeah, so it can be a really honest piece of copy and say something along the lines of, did you know you're overpaying for jewellery is the headline, or did you know you're overpaying for this? Here's what most high street brands are actually selling you when they sell you a necklace. High street premises, sales staff, etc. We just care about giving you high quality jewellery at a reasonable price. We use the exact same methods, the exact same materials, meaning that you get guaranteed quality at a reasonable price.
Yeah. And have you seen better results in long form copy in those kind of products, like more straightforward?
Good question. So, we're working with a jewelry brand now, and the piece of copy that's working best out of everything is just a massive discount one. That's more reflected in the nature of the brand than it is good copywriting principles. But the second best performing one is actually quite a humorous piece of copy, which isn't like super long form. It's like mid-length. That works quite well.
Yeah, because we are focusing and we try to be the less salesy as possible. And in our
Yeah.
case, we get better results when we don't have like a straight offer in in cold audiences, obviously. And yeah, it's very good to hear like you use humor in it. We should try it.
Yeah, I'm just actually going through our ad account now. I'll just put the last 30 days. I'll see the ones that are best performing. I love our naming system for ad sets. There's such competition between the two media buyers here. Let's have a quick look. Yes, the top performing ones here. Are this is actually just that it's a new release, which people are excited about. This is literally 3 sentences long, so that's not a massive revelation, but the creative's quite strong on this.
And in that copy, like you explain about the product or the brand itself, or you are just telling like story of how they would feel maybe with that product?
This one is super short form, and it's just like the headline is "Get them before they're gone." That's it.
All right. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you.
All right.
Amazing. Thanks, Jose. I'll put you back to an attendee now.
All right. Thanks.
Hello.
Reese, how you doing?
Doing good, thanks, Kieran. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Amazing. So I got a few questions today, so I'm just gonna quickly rapid fire and hopefully not take up too much time. First question is, so it's come to my attention that I scale my campaigns a little bit slowly. Reason I say that is, when it comes to me with scaling, I like to really make sure that I'm getting consistent sales first before I go ahead and throw loads of budget there. But I'm hearing about people scaling, just a lot quicker than I am. So the question is really, how quickly do you guys scale? And if I were to rephrase, it's, what KPIs do you look for? Is it like consistency? Do you look like for a good ROAS over a certain amount of time? And from there, like, how do you decide what to scale and how aggressively to do so?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, the main thing that we're looking at is a ad set within KPI. If the ad says is within KPI, and we pretty much have all of our spend at the ad set level, or at least that's what we like to control. We're not too big a fan of CBOs, except for one or two clients that we've done in the past. But these are ones which are, we basically treat the ad sets, the CBOs, as if they're ad sets because we're spending so much. But these are clients where we're spending, 10, 12, 15K a day. But yeah, long story short, dude, as long as it's within KPI, then, and as long as it's within KPI with a margin, because the thing is, if it's just at KPI, if you ramp spend, then, that might be very quickly it'll be without it'll be out of KPI. So then you're basically going to need to scale horizontally rather than vertically.
Got you. Okay. So is there like a certain time frame that you look for those KPIs?
Yeah. So I mean, look, basically we'll look at the past 72 days. Now, if we put up an ad set and within, let's say within 2 days, 3 days, it's out of KPI, then realistically there's no coming back.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fine. Okay, cool. So I'll go on to the next one. Thanks for that. The second one, in terms of your media buy that you've been doing recently, you're recruiting. I'm just wondering where the best quality of applicants came from.
Pardon?
Where did the best quality of the applicants your new media buyer recruiting? Where did the best quality in terms of the applicants? Where did they come from? Like which?
Facebook groups for sure.
Facebook groups. Cool. Okay. Cool. I have another one. There's a client that we've got. They were incorrectly disabled. Their entire ad account was incorrectly disabled twice last month. And it's to the point now where I want to go ahead and just start up a new ad set. So I feel like maybe, a new ad account. So I feel like maybe the ad account is the problem. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, you should have backups anyways, right? So they should have backup business managers, where you're basically warming them up, you're spending a little bit, and they should have backup ad accounts. So nonetheless, you need to have a backup plan.
Okay, cool. That's fair. I'm guilty, haven't been doing that. So I'll definitely get some backup set up going forward. Now there's a couple clients that I want to get rid of simply because, to be honest, their retainer value is just not as high. Obviously, if I could increase that retainer or add a ROAS deal, because there isn't any on these two particular that I'm thinking of, I basically want to increase the value of them. So I can either do that or I can drop them. And I'm just wondering how you would go about that, like how you would either go about asking for a higher retainer or you would go about asking for, more retention on a contract, or, what's your thought process when you're thinking about that?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. In terms of getting rid of these clients, how much are they paying?
I have one that's paying around 800 a month.
Yep.
Which is just silly, but to be honest, they're a smaller store. So when we started, they weren't doing so well. They're doing a lot better now, but I could definitely add to the retainer there, but that's like the lowest.
So how long have you been working with them?
Since beginning of December.
And out of 10, how much of out of 10 pain in the ass scale?
Minimal.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people will, like I've actually realized over the years, the thing that makes an agency is usually the lower paying clients that just stay on a long time.
That's fair.
And if you're telling me that they're minimal, like what's your highest retainer?
My highest at the moment is 1600.
Yeah, dude, like keep them. If they're
Yeah.
it would be different if you were like, oh, big pain in the ass plus only 800. But if they're 800, it's just minimal effort. Like honestly, I've realized over the years, like those are actually a lot of times the best clients is the clients that are like towards the low end. Because here's the thing, a lot of times low paying clients will be a pain in the ass. Like they're just the shittier clients.
Mhm.
But actually a lot of times they know that you're undercharging. You know that you're undercharging, but the retention is great. So yeah, I wouldn't cut them. What about that other one?
That makes sense. Same position. 800 as well. The thing is, I just feel like, you know, I price these guys so low. Even now, the 1600, I want to start doing higher than that. So I mean, it's just, to be honest, the response would be the same. It's, you know, the same situation with that. As I said, I just feel like I'm not getting as much as I should be in terms of the value, the monetary value.
Mm.
But definitely got the retention, so I appreciate that. Okay, I got just a couple more here. Sorry, bear with me. So that same one of those same people that I just mentioned now, the one that was doing the 800 a month, they were doing like they were doing really well in March. Sorry, they were doing really well in February, and it dropped down in March and April, which was around the same time that they were started to run out of stock. So I don't know if the ROAS has dropped exclusively because of the stock or if it's to do with the ads. They're not stocking until June, which is a bit of a headache. I'm just wondering, has stock ever really impacted your ROAS before? Have you ever seen an account do really well and then suddenly it just, you know, completely crashed due to being out of stock? Or
I mean, yeah, dude, of course, if they're out of stock, how you?
I mean,
how
no,
you gonna-
they have products that they can sell. It's just that not as much, you know?
Yeah, but I'm assuming what's happening is their best-selling products are out of stock, and obviously the best-selling products bring in the most amount of money. So yeah, of course, it's going to happen.
So should I just reduce budget?
Yeah, I would reduce budget.
Okay, that's fair. Cool, I'm gonna do that. Two more quick ones. I don't know if you mentioned this in the course or if it's just something that I heard from somewhere else, but in my ad copy, I usually put a couple links there at the bottom. Is that something that you guys do?
Sorry, repeat that.
Do you put links in the ad copy itself or just on the buy now button?
Kieran, I don't think we do.
No.
We do put links in the actual ad copy, yeah.
Okay.
Even for econ brands.
Yeah.
Oh.
The reason I bring it up is because there's a tracking problem. If you're reliant on UTM, there's a tracking problem there where the UTM isn't, you know, it doesn't show up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you recommend just taking them out because of that?
What the UTMs?
Yeah.
Optimize for whichever's most useful. Like if you're reliant on UTMs, then don't include them, because you only get a marginal benefit from including them in the actual primary text.
Mm-hmm. So it's not like you've noticed a significant increase just because they're there.
No, it's one of those things that just helps a little bit. It's always just a playing in the margins game for something like that.
That's fair, because I've got like the issue that we've got for 2 clients where Facebook is like, in the client's mind, the Facebook is massively over reporting and the UTM is just not giving us any proof to say we got the sales, which is obviously causing some conflict where the clients think that we're not making money, but you know, we are. It's just the UTM is not displaying it.
So is that your only form of tracking? You know, outside of obviously what, and you say it's everything's being over-reported in Facebook. How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, the client did. You know, I trust Facebook for the most part. Facebook, Google Analytics, and Shopify is the only thing that we have to go off. And obviously, Shopify Analytics rely on UTM primarily. So, you know, the UTM standpoint is saying for one client, it said that we had generated, you know, in the past 7 days, it said 5 sales, whereas on Facebook, it literally said double. It said like 10.
for sure. And let's see. So that's that. And then in terms of how much are they doing a month in revenue?
From us or in general?
In general.
This one that I've got in mind, they do about 40,000.
It might be. It might be worth just for a month, even getting Hyros.
Are you able to speak on that? How much they charge?
Yeah, I think like their beginner ones like $200 or $300 a month.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. I will definitely look into. I really thought it was like $5,000 a month.
No. Even their highest plan isn't $5,000 a month.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna definitely look into it.
I think they're unlimited. Wait, I can check right now. Billing. Let's see. Unlimited tracked revenue is $4,000 a month. Like that's unlimited. So yeah, no, you're fine.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
And then their 0 to 4 is $350 a month. 0 to 40K.
Okay,
Like
that's
up
really
to
good.
40K a month track revenue.
Would you make the client pay for that, or would you do it?
Yeah, 100%.
Client pays. Perfect. Thanks so much for that. I have just one final question. For 2 accounts, I've got a bottom of funnel campaign for add to cart retargeting, but it isn't being delivered. Now, the reason that I thought that may be is because the audience size was too low, but it's happening on 2 accounts, and I feel like the audience size should be all right. So I'm just wondering
have you checked how large the audience size is?
It is under 1,000, which is why I feel like it's not running, but it should, it's not much under 1,000.
And how much is the budget?
I mean, for total about 2,000 a month, but obviously for bottom of funnel,
how much?
A lot less.
How much is the ad set?
About $10 a day at the moment.
The only thing that you might want to try is just manual bidding.
Manual bidding, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about that actually.
That's the only thing I can think.
Manual bidding. I'll give that a try. Okay, perfect. Thanks so much, guys, for your time today and for your feedback. I do appreciate it.
All right, cheers.
Perfect. Take care.
Thanks, Reese. Bye. Paul, how are you?
Hello, my 2 favorite people. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Awesome. So it's been a little bit since we last spoke. I've been doing okay. Have a little bit of a story to share with you guys that may make a few cringe, but it was a client, our second, you could say, relatively large client that we signed. And this kind of turned into a shit show really quick. It was, I'll start from the beginning of the story just to give you guys some context, but essentially before going into details, long story short, we had them on for 2 months, haven't even launched 1 ad, and then obviously received a message saying, hey, we're done here. Now, the reason we haven't launched 1 ad is because this client was essentially the ultimate pain in the ass, but I do see some merit as to where they were coming from in a lot of aspects as to communication. So essentially the way this relationship started was I could see that it would be a little bit weird. It was this big, so I work in the luxury watch space. And this was actually a bigger company. They were doing around 2 to 3 million pounds a month in revenue. They're based in the UK. Large company, and sort of we pitched on the pretext that yes, we're going to help them with the idea of value offering marketing, lots of storytelling, sort of what Kieran alludes to. So we signed them on. It was quite a grueling process to get them to sign, but hey ho, we did it. Ended up for being significantly cheaper than what I pitched. So I pitched $3,000 a month, and then they had a counter offer with £15 a month. So not that bad, but we ended up taking them. And essentially it was a complete disaster. So when they first came on with their previous agency, they essentially had to switch over because they were currently doing Facebook ads with one company. And what happened was the ads manager and all the business accounts were made by the agency. So they didn't get owned by that company. So that took a long time. The web developer also, because we had to reinstall a new pixel, create new accounts. And with the other agency that they used for their website, they only had about like an hour a week time with them. So long story short, about a month later, we haven't even launched 1 ad, but we've been working our asses off for them. Then time, comes to launch ads, and that goes to complete hell as well because none of them were getting approved. This client was also, not to mention communication was all over the board. Emails every single day. And at that point, we weren't using Slack. I recently decided, yeah, we're going to transition over 100%. But it was just a complete disaster. So there's a couple elements that I'd love to hear your feedback on, because my goal right now, again, I'm a very young entrepreneur. Like I just turned 17, so there's so much for me to learn. And part of me is like, I don't know if I like should beat myself up for this, if I'm the one that, you know, effed up on my end, or if they were just a pain in the ass, or if it's a combination of the both. So for starters, I was just, you know, in terms of presentation of ads, because that was one of the big friction points, getting them verified. If I could actually share my screen and show you what we did, that would be incredible. Because we ended up creating a Google Sheets document showing the ad strategy. And that was one word that kept coming like up again and again, was lack of strategy. Like, what's the strategy? What's the strategy? I'm like, what do you mean by strategy? So when you guys, how do you go about, and there's a lot of sort of rollover questions that come off here, but how do you go about presenting ads to your clients? Do you normally present every single ad and get manual verification from them before putting something out? How does it work from you? Because this client was, I mean, I wasn't dealing with the owner of the company, we were dealing with the marketing team. So how did you go about that?
Yeah, so in terms of presenting the ads to clients, basically what we'll do is right at the beginning, we'll do a big rollout in terms of copywriting. And then, basically we'll do a big rollout and then we'll send it to the client and just get their approval on all the ad copy. And then
Now,
once that's
how
good.
do you, so again, Kieran, if you don't mind me sharing my screen so I can show you some pieces of copy, because again, I don't know how good or bad this is, but do you connect
Absolutely.
the copy? Do you connect the copy to the specific ads that are going to be ran? Because that was one thing they were asking. They're like, well, I want to know exactly which copy is with which ad, with which.
Well, like which creative.
Exactly. What's the campaign and what's the placement and what are the KPIs and exactly every micro detail.
No, we don't.
So how would you go about, so when you do the rollout, for example, do you
So I
just
mean,
send them-
look, we don't. If a client asks for it, what we do is we create like a little Google sheet so they can see like a sort of a column, so you can see, hey, this piece of ad copy with a link to it connects to this creative with the Google Drive link to it, and just do it that way.
Okay. And there's no other sort of fancy software that you guys use in terms of sort of structuring your campaigns and the way you're going to deliver? Because I have some clients that just don't give a crap altogether. They're just like, look, if you're making us money, you have good reporting, that's all we care. And I love those clients. But with this one in specific, it was a complete disaster. And also I was doing creative from the ground up. Like I was building them out creative. Like they gave me the base assets. I've got a background in like photography, film. I can even show you some of those. And she was nitpicking on every list. She's like, I don't like the music. This scene isn't, this specific clip doesn't really resonate. And it was just like, oh my God, lady, let us just run the ads. So I don't know if this is me. Kieran, if you can, I don't know how to share my screen on this.
Yeah, I'll promote you to a panelist now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that.
So you should be able to.
It says you cannot start screen sharing while other participant is sharing.
Which one? Stop sharing.
Yep. There you go.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even as you share here now, Paul, I'm sure everyone will say the same thing. Awesome. That this isn't the case of like.
Kieran, go for it.
This isn't a case of you should have done these in a better way. This is a case of client management. And it's always the people who feel a need to justify their job who get involved in these things, as you've identified. If it's the owner who has one eye on money, they're like, oh, it's absolutely fine, we'll just defer to you in this case. You do whatever you want to do. If it's somebody in marketing, they go, okay, somebody has moved in, they're trying to muscle it on me, they've criticized what I'm doing. I'm going to prove my worth by checking every single thing they've done.
Yep.
So that this is a client management problem, not a production problem.
Okay, because we were getting a lot of like, I'll show you. So this was the copy that we had for them. I took the liberty before to eliminate their name. But so, for example, these were just, it is a little messy, but these were just some sequences. So for retargeting, because they wanted to know what it's for, I kind of created this. Keep in mind we're in the watch space, so still thinking about it. Well, it's still thinking about you, but who knows for how long. Click the link below to shop. I thought that was brilliant. I've never written copy before, and I was like, damn, that seems pretty good. They didn't really like that. I can show you some more. Here was redefining pre-owned watches, redefining luxury watches. At company name, we don't want you to just tell the time. We want you to immerse yourself in history, art, and ultimately in the pieces that define luxury at the core. Click the link below to browse our fine selection of pre-owned luxury watches. And then I had a long form, and I mean, I don't know if you want me to read this out or if it's easier for you to look at it, but I just would love to hear input on the actual copy because I got a lot of like, you know, like backlash from that.
Yeah, look.
Okay, sorry, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go for it.
No,
you
you
go for it.
Okay. I was going to be kind of slightly brutal, and I'll preface everything by saying they weren't right to criticize you. This is more of just like a specific point here is you're writing how I used to write, and Emma will tell you that like my style of copywriting used to very much be I used to work with big brands who didn't want to say anything controversial, so I wrote very nice sounding sentences that didn't mean anything, and you're very good at doing that. But that isn't what sells. It's ironic because you'd think this company would love that. So, but I don't think their criticism was valid because they weren't to know that like the history of direct response advertising. I would just say from a copywriting perspective here, don't worry about. I mean, Paul Newman's. I mean, this story is great. You know, that's going to resonate. The stuff previously, when you're saying trust. Give specific examples of it and say that, you know, this is the difference that we make. This is why it makes sense to buy from us, not just a random online retailer. Don't be afraid to go long form then. All those little things. When you're retargeting, saying still thinking about you, still thinking about us. It's very twee and it's very cute. But that could have just been a very, very specific deadline. Anything like that has a bit more urgency.
Okay, because that's what I'll give you an example. So one thing she said. So I'll give you like this is the Paul Newman campaign that I put together, and you can read this. And I put like a long form and a short term. Like, do you know this gentleman? His watch sold for 17.8 mil. A Rolex Daytona 63.9, et cetera, et cetera. You can read from there. I try to add some urgency. We've got a few left in stock. They sell out quickly, and when they're gone, they're gone. From Datejust to Daytonas, we probably have the watch for you. Browser selection of both modern and vintage. Anyway, so I had this campaign, and then the marketing exec's big worry, she was the head of marketing for the company, was like, oh, I don't think this is going to perform well. Can we have another piece that's more, her goal was having them conservative. Nothing remotely, and but this will convert. And the problem is I didn't know if it will convert or not, which is why I'm running this by you. Like from a copywriting perspective, I've never written copy before. How do you think this fits? Would this be a good piece?
Yeah, I'd change a lot of this copy just like just because I go into detail on it. But the concept of it is great. You know, the execution can be improved, but the concept is great. This is what people come on social media to read. They want information and stories. They don't want adverts. So you would have been perfectly within your rights to push back at this. And man, there's a specific client I'm thinking of who we dealt with who had an American in their marketing team who just pushed back on everything. She just didn't understand our style of advertising, and it was kind of fighting a losing battle with her, wasn't it? You know,
100%.
we managed her as best as we could, but ultimately she didn't want that style.
As Kieran said, like the issue is a lot of times, they just want to feel fucking useful, and like
that's it.
Yeah. And I mean, dude, we literally just had this recently. Like I shared it with CPA, like the CPA members, because you know, in there I can be a little bit more candid and share a little bit more. Obviously, I had to still had to hide some sort of stuff, but I had in my entire 5 years, I've never had a client kick me out of an ad account and like full blown, like just like, yeah, we're ending it. I had it for the first time like 2 weeks ago or last week. Like I had a client boot me out of an ad account. And it's funny, it wasn't even the fucking client, it was their marketing manager. And they're like, yeah, we are terminating our contract and we would like a refund for the rest of the month. And it's like, well, no, you signed a 6-month contract. We're 2 months in. Like, here's the thing, I'm not going to keep a client there if they really don't want to be in. But it's funny because like a week prior, they were like, we just launched a new quiz funnel that was fucking ripping it. Like here's the thing, like I have our agency has a reputation. And we don't keep clients money unless we're making them money and like a good amount of it. And, there's clients where like, they don't even ask for the contract to be ripped up. I'm just like, hey, look, honestly, I don't think this is going to work. and that client was not one of them. Like we were fucking killing it for them. But yeah, that's the issue. It's like the marketing manager from day one just wanted to feel important, and don't even dare try to beat yourself up, because there's no point.
Thank that. That means a lot, because I honestly I almost had like a sleepless night. I felt so shitty because like she messaged me. She's like, let's terminate this. It's so bitchy about it. And I was literally trying so hard. Like I created like multiple Cartier campaigns. Like I even made a Patek campaign when the 5711 got discontinued. And she's like, this is so off brand. This is horrible. I can't believe I didn't understand even like making a handbag campaign, because they sell handbags as well. So, man, I don't even know. Yeah. So that's kind of how that turned out. Now, what would you recommend some learnings that I could take out like from this on my end so I could improve? Because again, I'm really kind of lost here.
I mean, bro, honestly, the only kind of key you can take away from this is that just kind of spot these are the crazy people and these marketing managers. But at the end of the day, I don't think that means you shouldn't sign the client. It just means with certain clients, just maybe brace for impact and brace for the fact that it may, I don't know, it just may, it may be, you're always kind of winning, as Kieran says, you're always kind of you're always trying to win a losing battle when it comes to any client that's got like a marketing manager or anything like that on. So as I said, you just can't take blame for that. And that's as long as, and I think the main thing is just don't beat yourself up about it, because there's no point really.
Should I message, should I send an email to the owner of the company and I don't know, apologize or say something? I don't even know, because I don't, obviously in this industry, reputation is huge. I mean, these guys know, actually one of the reasons why it was not easy, but an element of reputation, they knew the dealer that you work with, because they were like, who are you trained by? And I mentioned your name, and I'm like, he goes to Bloom Bar, and they're like, oh, Eddie. I'm like, yeah, look at that. So it is such a small world.
What client was it?
Zoops.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as I said, honestly, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, the problem,
yeah, I mean, look, yeah. If you want, you can reach out and, you can reach out and, I don't know about apologizing. You did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but I just, because obviously he's only hearing her side of the story. And
yeah, I mean, look, maybe just have a conversation and just explain what happened.
Yeah.
And just go, look, I'm not gonna, try to keep anyone, I'm not gonna keep you here if you don't want to be here. But just wanted to kind of give you a rundown of what happened.
Contract, and we were just going to start the third month, and that's when they terminated. And I was about to be like, well, we have a contract, whatever, but I realized that relationship would not work at all with her. So, and here's another sample of copy.
I mean, dude, as I said, it's not a copy issue.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
It's not.
All right. Now, on the note of Slack, how do you guys go about adding? I'll try to be quick here because I don't want to take up too much time. But because for me, it's been a bit of a disaster. Do you have multiple channels for do you have one channel with your client and then one channel with you and your team member? Because we have to talk about each client, obviously, behind the client.
No. You have one for all of you and your entire team together, where you talk about multiple clients in a channel.
Okay, would you say that's a better idea? Because if I'll kind of share. I have one, so I have one for each. I'm kind of spewing the clients that I have now, but the client and then a team where I have all of.
No. It's better to just have is your team contractors?
Yeah, we're just one guy.
Just one contract. Yeah, well then, you just have a thing for your you and your contractor. Just have a channel, because you can talk about all your clients there.
Should we have a channel or just use DM?
Or even better. I mean, if it's just one, use DM.
Okay, awesome. And in terms of actually putting my clients into my Slack, one thing that's just been happening is, how do I go about adding them? So I have the channel, and then I click add people, and then, because what's been happening is people aren't able to join if they don't pay.
No. So what you do is you go to Slack, and then at the top you go invite people to, and then it'll say your thing, and then invite as guest.
Oh.
Because then but what you have to do is you have to create the channel first. So when you sign a new client, just create client Y, and then and then you add them as a single basically as a guest, and then they only get invited to a specific channel.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so invite them as a guest.
Yep.
I still click add, but so okay, it says looks like they're from another company. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Or if they
Yes,
don't have,
from another company, and then add them as a guest.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
because as a guest, they'll only have access to that channel, which is what you want as well.
Right. Oh, awesome. Okay, thank you. That helps clear it a lot. Yeah, I mean, for me that's about it. It's just a matter of sort of jumping over this little hurdle and keep moving forward, because I really felt like crap for a few days. Like I didn't understand if it was me and if how to go about that. But no, I really appreciate both of your insights.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. You have an amazing one. See you later.
Same
Thanks,
to you.
Paul.
Bye-bye.
Emma, would you have guessed Paul's age?
No, dude, I was about to say, like, what the fuck? Dude, I thought, literally, what the fuck? I thought it was like 25.
It's like speaking to a magnificent, confident, like 25-year-old plus who's like,
Yeah.
he's been through life. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like his even just like tonality and stuff like that. Shit, I'd buy from him.
Josh, how you doing?
Yo, how's it going?
Hello,
man?
hello. Going well, going well. How about you?
Yeah, man, just doing good, doing good. It's been a little while since last spoken, but I've got a page full of questions for you guys. Well, I'll be as quick as I can though. Obviously, appreciate it, people on the call. I'll just rattle through real quick then. So one of the things I've got in my head like right now is like the question of whether I'm doing enough in a day type thing. Obviously before this I was working in like a kind of a agency and then a recruitment agency as well. So there's always like you're always reinforced by that kind of 9 to 5 attitude. You sit at your desk, you get your work done, you work blocks, etc. Now, obviously, branching out alone, there's always a question of like, is what I'm doing enough? And it's because I don't have any kind of other people to kind of measure it against. Like, I'm not sure whether I'm being lazy or I'm working just as hard as I need to be or whatever. So have you got any thoughts on that could be useful?
Well, it's just a matter of like, so what's your main form of getting meetings at the moment?
Email outreach. But I'm doing like I'm putting looms in there as well. So I'm kind of making like my emails are really dynamic.
So how many meetings a month? Basically, or how many meetings a month are you having?
So right now I'm generating 2 to 3 meetings per week.
Per week. Okay, so and how many new clients are you closing a month?
I'm right now I'm going through a dry patch. So since obviously Jan, I signed 2 clients in very quick succession, and then since then it's been like been a bit of a dry patch. So
okay, understood. So so you haven't closed a client since
end of Jan.
end of Jan, understood. So yeah, dude, basically your thing, you have a sales issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. Like if you're telling me that you've had, that must be what, like 30 meetings since Jan?
Well, no. So let me just preface that. So it wasn't. So my outreach method, like I've quite synthesized it over the past month, really. So before that, like for example, in Feb, I was doing like 10 looms a day. I didn't generate 1 meeting, which is horrendous. Yeah. So like I have.
So how many meetings would you say you had this year?
Maybe 15, maybe 20. I honestly don't know. I'm just jumping off the top of my head. Maybe 20, probably.
So you're not tracking.
I am tracking, but I don't have the numbers off the top of my head. I use the outreach tracker, but I just don't have the number off the top of my head right now.
Okay, understood. Well, I mean, either way, yeah. Basically, it seems like the issue you're having is, long story short, the issue you're having is a sales issue, not a prospecting issue.
Mm-hmm. So in which case, just work on improving my sales skills, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Well, I guess out of those 15, how many would you say was a sales issue? How many within the first 5 minutes were you like, okay, yeah, there's no fucking chance I'm gonna sign these, like, because they just don't have the money.
Yeah. To be honest, probably like maybe like a third of them.
Okay, yeah. Well, then if 2/3 were still closable, then yeah, 100% it's a sales issue at the moment.
Got it. In terms of just like for like the mentality through like when you're going through a dry patch and kind of dealing with that, is it just literally just keep fucking going, don't just that's it really? Like, is
Yeah,
there
I mean,
any-
dude. Yeah, I mean, dude. I'm assuming you're recording all your calls, right?
yeah, I'm recording my calls.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're in a situation that like fucking everyone in here would kill for, which is like you're actually, like you're getting meetings, you're just not closing.
Mhm.
So also in terms of pricing, what are you pricing at?
Okay, good point. So before maybe 2-3 weeks ago, I was going in at like 2K, which is in my hindsight, I don't think it's just too high for where I'm at right now.
What niche are you charging? Or are you
Just
working with?
e-commerce.
Dude, here's what you should do, right? Here's what you should do. You should bring your, here's what you, so are you using a contractor or delivering yourself?
Yeah, contractor. So what I'm doing right now is
How much is your contractor charging you?
so he was 750, but now this is pounds, but I've got it down to 600 pounds now, and he's pretty good to be fair.
So here's what you should do. You should just for this. How many clients are you working with at the moment?
Just the one. I lost one too.
So here's what you should do. You should charge your clients a flat 750 a month, and then just performance fee.
Really
Yeah. For the next client, and then after that, bump it up.
interesting. And is that because
Dude, it's because you're getting meetings. They're not closing, so you just want to lower the barrier to entry as much as possible.
what about like maybe going say 1200 and then like kind of doing it down halfway and then
you can do 1200 as well.
Okay, sound. Other questions I've got. I noticed that you're doing kind of refunds if you don't hit a certain KPI or whatever. Do you recommend for beginners to do that?
Yeah, for sure you can.
How about if you don't have the cash flow like to do it? It's more of a risk. Like obviously.
Yeah, look, I mean, in that case,
Yeah. Also, sorry to jump in there, man. But don't second guess yourself on that. Don't in a moment of silence in a meeting suddenly jump in and say, and by the way, we'll offer you a refund if it doesn't go well. Don't like have that in your back pocket. That should be like a final straw as a negotiating tactic, not something you offer up at the beginning just because you're trying to build your confidence up.
Yeah. So you don't lead with that. It's just like if you're really confident you can get results for a client and that's kind of like their objection, then that's kind of how you get past that basically. Sweet. Other questions? So I know you've talked a lot about him and about the Great Reset and the New World Order and whatever's going on. I heard someone say the other day, or actually today, that there's like if you're not getting your money right like soon, then like we're gonna miss out on like a huge opportunity where there's going to be such a disparity that it's going to be extremely hard to overcome that. Do you share those thoughts too? Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. Like if you don't make like, yeah, 100%. Like in the next 2 years, you need to get your money right or you're fucked, like royally fucked. Like even things like, it's funny. I was talking with my friend earlier today. Like they don't want you eating meat, which I guess I don't know if you like, for example, for Kieran, that doesn't really matter. He's been pescatarian his entire life, but yeah, like in 5 to 10 years, eating meat will be like a proper thing, only just for wealthy people. Because the basic thing, the rules don't apply to you if you have money. Even things like, I'm not at the stage in my life where I can afford to travel private everywhere. In Europe, I definitely can. But yeah, like even during the pandemic, like, dude, like I have buddies of mine who fly private. Well, I have a buddy of mine who actually owns a private jet. And yeah, dude, he just flew many times, like in the midst of the pandemic. He flew from America to UK. He just landed back in the UK recently. And he doesn't have to quarantine.
Mhm.
right? So yeah, rules don't apply to you if you have money. And that's like the funniest thing when I'm like, when I say all this stuff about like, lockdowns and this and that, like people don't realize like I'm fucking like rich people don't get affected by any of this. Like I'm me and everyone I know who has a successful business have multiplied their wealth by so many fold during this pandemic. It's all it's all it's the middle class who are getting fucked. So yeah, basically you're on the right track.
Well,
I think the wealth disparity is just going to get worse over the next 10 years.
well, the question is like, what do you suggest? What is like for you getting your money right?
Getting your money right is
Like, what's the number for you?
well, I don't know. What does that mean? Like, what's my retirement sort of number?
I mean, I'm not saying for you personally because I know like different people have different, tastes and kind of luxuries and levels of comfort that they're familiar with. But like, I'm saying like, does that mean if I don't get to like making like $1 million a year by like in 2 years, that means like I'm fucked?
No,
Like,
no, not at
always
all.
looking
Like, no, I'm talking like, dude, getting your money right is like getting to like 100K.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like getting your money right is like getting to 100K, and then once you get to like 2, 3, 4, 500K, I don't think you need to get. By the way, there's very few people who make $1 million profit. Like, very few people. Like all these e-commerce business owners and all that. Like, they're not making $1 million profit. Like, honestly, I only know a handful of people. Even people who are like, oh yeah, my business did $250,000 revenue this month, who are actually taking home $1 million profit. Like, I'm not even talking before taxes. I'm talking pre-tax, like profit from the biz. Like, so dude, if you're making like $500,000 a year, you're a fucking baller.
yeah,
If you're making 200K a year, you're doing well.
man.
Profit, right? It's just, as I said, don't get disorientated because like in our community, we talk profit. In other people's communities, they talk revenue. So you can't compare the two. But I'd say the biggest flex on earth is if you can get to a point where you got like 300K in your investment portfolio, 400K. And like basically that means that, I think the biggest flex is if you can live off your investment portfolio and then any profits from the business go into the investment portfolio. So you're only living off your investment yield.
Yeah. So you're saying like in the next couple of years, just put your fucking head down, get your money right before the whole system just disintegrates and etc.
Yeah, I think basically just for the next few years, like don't listen to everything. Like continue to make a lot of money and then just invest and store everything. Like the next few years is not the time, in my opinion, to be extremely
Baller.
Yeah.
Sound. Okay, I've got a couple other quick questions. So, in terms of like hours I should be working per day, do you have like a kind of a recommendation?
No, not really. For me, it's just like it's just whatever you need to do to get to your meeting set quota.
Okay, sound. So for me, it's like I'd say 20 miles a day is probably like my kind of sweet spot. Sound. And then other ones, yeah, in terms of like how to differentiate yourself, because obviously like look, there's agency community here. There's 2,000 people in the agency community. Not everyone runs Facebook and Instagram ads and runs paid ads. There's obviously different types of agencies and stuff. But my question is like how do you differentiate yourself? And I'm not saying what's a specific tactic to differentiate yourself, but like a like a mental model to be able to differentiate myself from other agencies, because I kind of feel like a lot of the time I'm going on to these calls and it's like, yeah, I've been pitched this like 3 times before, and
I think look, as I said, if you can lower, well, I think the way to differentiate yourself is, first of all, this is something that like gets built over like a long time. Culture is something that gets, and culture is even 1 or 2 people, but like it's the same thing with like, I don't know, an e-commerce brand or like even like a new car company. Like a new car company is not really going to have a massive differentiating factor from day one, or they're not going to have like a real like culture, and differentiation gets built up over time, right? So I don't think it's something super important to focus on, honestly, when you're first getting started. I think just for you, it's because here's here's one way you'll 100% differentiate yourself: results. Right,
Yeah.
as you start to get some awesome results in case studies. Now, what you should do is you should lower the barrier to entry, as I said.
Yeah.
For your clients, and the way that you do that is basically, I said, lower your fee and make your upside on the performance.
Got it. So, yeah, I guess that's the actionable things from today is go to a $750 a month fee plus a percentage ROAS.
Yeah, just for the next 2 clients, and then after that you can bump it up.
Sound okay. Yeah, man, I think that's pretty much it. I appreciate your time, and I'll get my head down. Hopefully next time we speak, I'll get some more clients to bring on board.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Cheers, Kieran, as well. Thanks.
Bye. I was going to quickly nip to Thomas. Thomas, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, cheers. Yeah, so I had a couple of questions today. The first one is about the clients. So I work in the e-com niche, and sometimes one of our clients has a very, very shit website. And I was wondering, in that case, what do you do? Do you help them with giving them advices to their web designer, or do you say, well, we're going to do a website for you, let's say on ClickFunnels, if you have 1 or 2 products, and they will pay you for that funnel? Sorry?
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so in terms of your question, website stuff, I mean, look, building an e-com website in ClickFunnels is just never a good idea. So definitely not that. And in terms of little sort of website amendments and stuff like that, most of the time we'll do that for a client. If there's little tweaks, little suggestions, et cetera, but I mean, if it's a full website redesign, then no, we won't do that.
Okay, but if it's a little twist, as you said, will you charge this or no?
No.
Okay, perfect. Had another one, yeah, for the price. So I heard what the previous guy said. If you charge less on fee and more on performance, how are you able to? And I don't think you're able, but I'm asking in case to auto bill the performance payment.
Yeah, you're correct. We can't. So basically what we do is obviously their base gets billed, and then 30 days later, 30 days plus like an extra, we do like an extra 7 just to be safe. That's when, that's basically when we bill them for the previous 30-day period.
Okay, I see. And do you recommend always having fixed, like the fee, for instance, that you said, and then the performance more, or if we have just performance?
I prefer that way, just because then the client has some skin in the game.
Okay.
You can get a lot of tire kickers, like if it's literally just performance.
Okay, perfect. So that's good. Tac. 2 other questions, if you have time for me. One on when you said you run ads for you, how do you, like, you do lead, I suppose you do lead gen, and then are the ads are directed just on your website or on something else?
Yeah, so in terms of ads, we do it straight to a case study funnel, and then from there, that's straight to a booking.
Okay, perfect. Tac. Okay, that's it for the e-com, for the digital marketing part. And just two quick stuff. I'm actually like I love watches. since I've been very small, because my parent, one of my parents, has been working also in that sphere. And I heard what you said. I think it was on your podcast, when you said if you want to create a collection, what could be good is to find someone that could provide any watch, so you can get them for a cheaper price, and it would be easier also to get them. What are your advices on how to find this guy?
Well, I mean, how much money do you have in the bank? Like, I don't think there's any point buying a watch now.
Like 20, no, but even for the 20K.
So, like, are you in the market to buy a watch?
Sorry.
Like, are you in the market to buy a watch now?
What do you mean? Are you
Basically, are you looking to buy a watch now?
well, in the months that are coming, yes.
Okay. In terms of that, I mean, look, here's the thing. I would buy direct from the brand if you can. Any brands that are standing out to you? Like, what sort of watches are you looking to get?
Reverso.
Yeah, so Reverso. So here's the thing with a Reverso, you can buy a Reverso cheaper from a gray market dealer, but like brand
Okay.
new.
Okay.
So that one might be better to buy from gray market.
Perfect. I'll have a look at it. Perfect.
Just use Chrono 24 and just set all your things that you want.
Sorry, I'm gonna write this down.
Chrono 24.
Chrono 24. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I actually know Chrono 24. Okay, perfect. Well, thanks a lot. And the other day, because we had a great results with our actual current clients, I bought and I needed a blue light glasses. I bought yours, and they're very good. Can tell the quality is good. So thank you.
Oh, nice, good stuff.
Perfect.
Glad you like them.
Sorry.
Glad you like them.
Yes. Thank you. Well, have
Bye.
a good day, you and Karen.
Cheers, dude. You got
See you.
great taste in watches, by the way. Reverse is
Thanks.
a great one.
Thanks. See you guys. Bye bye.
See you.
Thanks, Thomas. That's the highest compliment a man can pay. Azan, how are you doing?
Hi Kieran, hi Iman. My question was that I'm an A-level student, and it's quite a basic question. I was going to ask, how much outreach do you think I should be doing on a daily basis? Because currently I'm just doing your course, so I'm not into the practical side of things. I'm just doing the theory, learning everything that I can currently. So yeah.
So let's see. Right now, basically, your focus needs to be. How much of the course have you gone through?
Currently, I'm nearly finished with module 3.
What, week 3? You mean?
Yeah, week 3.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, get to like week 5 and start outreach.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. Arnie, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. How are you doing? I'm good.
Okay. Good to hear.
So can I start my questions?
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm doing cold mail script for my outreach. And what do you do with the leads that don't reply with your initial 4 mail cold script? Do you follow them up weekly, bi-weekly? What do you do?
No, I
with
mean,
them?
look, if they don't respond to the first 4, then then basically leave it.
Okay.
You know, then
So-
then revisit them. You know, in 6 months or something, 3 months.
Okay. So do you think that I should personalize and do longer forms of copies with my mail outreach?
So right now, you're not doing any personalization.
Yes, I'm actually doing personalizations. but I just want to know your opinion.
So I mean, here's basically the thing. It's so if you're not doing any, if you are doing personalization, how much personalization are you doing? Just like first line, or
I look at their ads and I do personalization with that, and I talk about their website and branding as well.
okay, understood. Um, so where do you want to go from here?
No, oh, what do you think would have more, replies, longer form of copies or shorter forms with your experience?
So there's many styles you can take. So the first thing to kind of get through your head, and the first thing to really know is, there's no one size fits all, right? And you got to find what works best for you. So on that note, really just on that note, the one thing to bear in mind and the one thing to focus on is basically just see the numbers will kind of point you in the right direction. So if you're looking back and you've sent hundreds of emails and they're all long form, and that's not yielding a good return in terms of meeting set, then go for something a little bit shorter and punchier. Kind of on your first point of like, hey, after 4 outreach, I'm not getting any response. Should I send a 5th one? No, right? Because the first 4 haven't been successful, so realistically the next one won't be. So
Okay, that's it. With the e-com business, for example, they are doing 10,000 monthly in revenue. Do you think they could really afford my service if I say my charge would be like $1,500 plus ad spend? Because I think e-com businesses have this 40% profit margin, right?
yeah, so with them,
yeah.
that'll be a tough one, for sure. That'll be a tough one. So if I were you, I wouldn't. If I were you, basically in that situation, the only way that would work is by charging them a performance, because they're
Okay.
realistically, they're not going to be able to afford, a base retainer. It'll just have to be performance in that situation.
Okay. So what amount of revenue would an e-commerce should have if I want to, charge my fee as $1,500? Would it be like what, 20,000?
Yeah, I mean, even at 20,000, because bear in mind, their margins, probably their net margins will be after ad. Well, I guess as they're doing it organically, yeah, I'd say at a minimum 25, 30.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh, what books did you read about? Because I think you're doing services for sales funnels, right? What books did you read about?
What, for creating sales funnels?
Yeah.
There's no real books you can read. I mean, you can read most of ClickFunnels, like Russell Brunson stuff, but apart from that, there's really not much.
Then how did you get that confidence to price that high without
just over time? Over time you get to a point where let's say we've created funnels in the past for our clients, we've created webinar funnels, and then we know how much those funnels make clients, and then we can take that on to the next one.
Okay. How do you lead source your potential clients for sales funnels? Do you also reach out to
so with sales funnels, we actually don't. Right.
So they just go to you?
No, not really. So those will be kind of a case-by-case scenario. So like, for example, with some of our clients, we'll do email, like a back-end, like the back-end email, back-end funnel emails. Right. So we'll do that. We'll do that for clients, but those are, as I said, it's really just by a case-by-case basis, in those scenarios.
Okay. So do you have any top 5 books you can recommend? You're reading right now? Huh? Just curious.
In general?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I guess just some good recommendations for you. Fanatical Prospecting.
Okay.
That's probably one of the best sales books I've read. I don't really believe in sales that much. I think prospecting is by far more important. So yeah, I'd say Fanatical Prospecting. If you haven't read that, just get started with that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Thanks.
All right, awesome.
Hey man doesn't believe in sales, can she? Didn't see that one coming. Morgan, how are you doing?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hi, I'm doing well. I hope you are. So I'm somewhat of a beginner. I actually acquired the course last year, but I was in a position where I couldn't really give it my full attention. I have a background in digital marketing, so I'm not, I'm new to the business of having my own business, but not to like digital marketing service delivery. So with that being said, my questions, or I just have like 2 questions, and they're related to picking your niche and service offering. The picking your niche question is 2-part. So I'll start with, I'm going to take the approach of testing niches for the first 6 months. I'm going to be going into like home servicing, so like remodeling, roofing, landscaping, and then I'm also going to be testing the cosmetic self-care niche, so like med spas, permanent makeup, plastic surgeons, and such. So if I take this approach, do you guys have any advice on how to make sure that I'm like staying organized? Well, you know what, let me start with this question. Is that niche enough? So if I say I want to go into the home services or contracting, there's obviously so many services under that umbrella. Is that niche enough, or should I go even more niche to say, okay, I'm just focusing on HVAC or plumbing or flooring or remodeling?
Look, I'd say that's a that's a broad enough niche that also gives you the ability to niche down further.
Okay, cool. So same with the beauty and cosmetics as well. Med spas, permanent makeup, plastic surgeons, cosmetic dermatology. That's all niche enough. I can target all of those. Okay, cool.
Correct.
The second part of that question was, do you guys have any like advice on taking that approach? Obviously, I'll be able to like take the data of how I feel about working with those clients and like, obviously just to see which one I feel more comfortable with. But do you guys have any advice on, if I'm going to take this approach, how to stay organized and just how to not get too like overwhelmed with dealing with multiple niches at once?
Well, so you don't have any clients at the moment, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So look, I'd say for now, you can kind of work with that sort of broad umbrella niche, right? And then you can kind of refine down as you start to find the sub niche within that you enjoy working with most, because definitely that is quite a broad niche. Yeah, it definitely is quite a broad niche. So it is best if you refine it down, but you're at that kind of exciting stage where you're kind of at that exciting stage where you're like a kid in a candy store, and you can try all these different sub niches and find which one works best for you.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then as far as service offering, I have experience with Facebook ads, Google ads, and email marketing, which are the services that I think would be best for me to go into. Possibly also local SEO, but again, those 3 are what I have the most experience with. Is it a good idea to make sure that I'm using using the right service for my niches? Is it a good idea for me to kind of like consider like market research and niche research to see like, okay, this niche actually responds better with email marketing or Facebook ads, instead of just choosing one? Because essentially every business can benefit from both, but I want to make sure that I'm choosing, like I have a purpose behind which service I'm choosing.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so do the research essentially.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely do the research.
Okay. And I think that's. Oh, okay. And I heard some other people ask about this, like as a beginner, just since I don't have any actual case studies right now, I know you mentioned in the course that it is a good idea to charge off of performance or being willing to lower your fees. I guess those 2 strategies.
With local biz, that doesn't apply.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I still need to keep that retainer and keep myself solid with that. Okay. And I guess like if I do feel like people are asking, well, you don't have case studies, or again, I'm very confident in myself, but if I do run into that issue, is it okay to, what would you do? Like, would that be a
in that
situation where I need to look?
scenario, what you can do is you can kind of do like a guarantee, which is almost like, for example, are you going to be running the ads yourself?
No.
So yeah, what you can do in that case is you can do a guarantee and say, hey, if I get you we guarantee 30 leads, and if I get you less than 30 leads, then we do a 50% refund of that month.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
All right. No worries.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Morgan, and thank you for coming back. Daniel, how are you?
Life is good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. So this is the first time I've been on one of these live Q&As, and recently brought the course up through week 5, and today I started making my prospecting calls. So today I did 13 calls, got in touch, got a couple of gatekeepers, got to 2 decision makers. They said they weren't interested. And the 2 questions I had, and the niche I'm doing is cybersecurity. The first question I had was, when someone mentions that they're not interested, how often do you continue to reach out to them via cold calling and the other outreach mediums?
So this is they're telling you they're not interested in the prospecting stage.
Correct.
Yeah, dude, then you probably just don't reach back out for a while. I would say probably for 6 months, 3 months at least.
Okay. And my other question is, if you've had any experience in the cybersecurity computer services niche, what did you find to be the average cost per lead? I just wanted to know when I show people that lifetime value calculator.
Unfortunately, I have no idea. I've never worked in that niche.
Okay. I'll take a look. But those are the only questions I had. I appreciate it.
Okay, awesome.
Thanks, Daniel. Tony, how are you doing?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. All good.
Oh, okay. Hey, nice to meet you. This is my first time joining one of these calls. I recently joined the course a few weeks ago, completed it. I do have a day job, so this is something I am working on actively. Let's see. One of the first questions. So I have a prospect that I'm meeting on the phone that I met through Upwork. And they gave me the store and some competitors. And we even exchanged LinkedIn information. And, I'm kind of looking at the store. It looks like it's a drop shipping store. And I don't know if this is like something I should like start with, if those are good potential clients to work with, because, it seems like they're new, don't have any Facebook Pixel installed. And so I'm just trying to see how I could price something like this. I heard what you said earlier to the other guy, if you want to start a little small, you can charge like $750 plus performance base. And then, I'll go from there. And then my other leading question to that is, for something like this, when we're creating like landing pages, do you guys use like ClickFunnels with Shopify when we're reaching out to cold audiences? How do you guys typically do a top of the funnel?
Yeah, top of the funnel will either just be a product or their entire their page, right? Like the actual web shop. And then with certain clients, we have done like quiz funnels in the past, but that's it's a case by case basis.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So it really depends on what they're selling and where they're at in the customer journey. So like if they don't have any previous customers and not tracking anything, then you kind of have to start from scratch and point to like a funnel or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, with e-commerce stores, you don't really need to do a funnel. Most of the time, most of the time, basically, you're kind of spraying from the hip. They're coming on the website, and then from there, you can kind of retarget based on what they do there. But most of the time, it's just getting them to the main product page.
Okay, got it. And then I have one more question. So when you're having prospecting calls, how, if they ask you, you know, how can you help me increase my average order value? I know with stuff like, because I've been kind of, you know, integrating the ClickFunnels world for a little bit now, kind of seeing how they upsell and downsell those things. But in like Shopify, for example, and Facebook ads, how do you increase conversion and average order value? What are some
so-
ways? Not the best way, but I know there's always a depends answer, but like what are some ways?
Well, in terms of increasing average order value.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the things you can do is obviously you can do like promos, like buy two, get the third one free, buy three, get the fourth one free, stuff like that. Discounts, buy three, get 30% off, stuff like that. And then just making sure that there's, you know, plugins on the check-in page that kind of prompt people to basically add extra products, especially if they're sort of like cheap tack on ones.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, I think that's all the question I have for today. I'll be joining the other ones down the road, but thank you for your time.
All right, no worries.
Thank you, kindly. Kieran, how are you doing?
How's it going, guys? How are you?
Good.
Just I just have two quick questions. I suppose just for the outreach stage, and just I'm cold emailing at the minute. And my business is web design primarily. And I signed up to course because I've started to do SEO, but it's just time for me with the emails. I was just wondering, do you think it's beneficial to hire a VA to send emails?
So how many clients do you have at the moment? Just started?
Web design clients, I've done about 30 plus websites, but they're not on maintenance contracts or anything. I've got one SEO client at the minute.
For sure. Yes, I mean, what you can do is you can get what's more time intensive right now, sending the emails, or are you doing personalized emails, or are you doing something like Lemlist?
They're personalized emails. I just came across Lemlist like 2 days ago from a post in the Facebook group.
Yeah, so I think maybe just getting someone, like for example, what you can do is you can get a VA to lead source and then add notes for the first personalized section of it. And then from there, you can actually sort of process the emails yourself via Lemlist.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the second question that I had was just in relation to them emails that are going out. An issue that I have is I know that you speak about choosing a niche, and it's just that I kind of tied myself into a brand before starting this course, so I don't really have an option to niche down now. I was just thinking, do you think sending a cold email and then having a landing page based on that niche, so if let's just say it's lawyers in Ireland or lawyers Dublin, that it's going to be a lawyers Dublin landing page, or a lawyers, you know, a specific landing page for that niche?
So what niche have you kind of boxed yourself in with?
I've started reaching out to plumbers and roofing.
Okay. What, so you want to change niche now?
No, I don't specifically have a niche. I do websites for you know, all sorts of businesses. And I've built my brand around that, you know.
Okay. Wait, so just so I can understand. So is your business, like, does it have, basically, have you kind of constricted yourself with the business name, or what's the issue?
Yeah.
Then it might be worth either renaming, like rebranding yourself.
Okay.
I think that's probably your best bet, actually.
And kind of, yeah, I suppose. I don't really think that would be an option.
Why is that?
I've got an office and stuff, you know, with our name and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I was just thinking like a call. If I'm reaching out to a lawyer, that I can say find more info here and a link to a lawyer's landing page. But I suppose, yeah, you know, I could just avoid that. I'm just trying to. I haven't had much success with the cold email, so I'm just trying to, you know, personalize it as much as I can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe you might have to like sort of create a separate brand, like almost like a sister agency.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
Because it's never good to have a name that kind of boxes you in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure, I'll keep trying. I'll keep going. see how it goes. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. No
Cheers.
worries.
Thank you. Emaine, how are you doing? I swear people are just like trying to get close to our names now.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, thank you. So I have a couple of questions. The first one is that our agency is in the niche of e-com and info product, but now we're working just with the e-com clients. My question is, we do creatives, we do copywriting, ad copies, and funnel creation. Do you think we should keep all those services, or I mean, we should just stick with funnel creation and copywriting, or we should do creatives too?
So how do you guys have clients? Is it already validated?
Yes, we already have we have 2 clients, but one client has like 3 projects. So we're working with him.
Yeah.
With 3
So
projects.
that's for funnel creation or ad stuff?
So for him, we do funnel creation, ad copies, copywriting for the funnel, and the creatives. We do everything for him.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like you have a lot on your plate. I think if right now what you need to do is you need to find what brings the best yield. I mean, it's nice that you have that in your arsenal and you know that you have that in your arsenal, but I think you need to find what works best or what brings the best sort of returns for your clients and really just focus in on that.
Okay, so the thing is, for now, I mean, we're working, me and my partner. So he's the one taking care of lunch and ads and create funnels and creatives. And like lately, he's been, I mean, it's too much for him, for the creatives and everything. So we said either we hire someone to take care of the creatives, or we take it off of our services. So what do you think? Which option is the best?
Yeah, I think probably take it off of your services.
Yeah, because I mean, for some campaigns, we reach like 116 or 170 creative for the campaigns. So I think it's too much creatives.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, okay. So you think we take it off our services for our best?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have another question, which is about calling, about closing in calls. So I think I have a problem I want to know if I should, I mean, maybe learn the one call close, because I think I'm losing too many clients in the second call or the third call. I mean, they are interested in the first call, and then they say, okay, send me the contract and stuff. And then when we hop on the second call, they're like not interested anymore or stuff like that.
Yeah, so what you should do is I actually recommend a 2-call close now. And what I recommend you do is you basically just focus on that first call. Just give them, like, have it a very just, you know, the first call really isn't about sales.
Yeah.
Right. That first call really is just about information gathering and just showing them, hey, this is the way that we work. These are some past results, and then penciling in a sort of, and that first call can only be should only be 15-20 minutes, and then from there penciling in a longer call.
Okay, so how do you think I should implement, I mean, scarcity or urgency in my calls? Because sometimes it's in my mind, but once I get in a call with the client, it's just like I'm too scared to put that scarcity or to make the sense of urgency in the call.
Look, honestly, I don't think you need to. Honestly, honestly, I don't think you need to. I think have that first call. Put yourself at ease, knowing that, hey, the first call, literally the only point of this is just the information gather, and just obviously in that first call, you still do need to convey some sort of value to them, and go, hey, you know, this is how. This is the sort of results we've gotten for our clients. This is what we've been able to achieve for some of our clients, because obviously you've got that in your arsenal. And then basically, you know, from there, pencil in that follow-up call and make sure you do it with Calendly. Like you create an event on Calendly or Acuity Scheduling, and then you type in their information, so that way they get the confirmation emails and like they get the reminders and stuff like that. And then, yeah, you go from there.
Okay, thank you. So I think I have one last question. We build the funnels with WordPress. So we use WordPress to create our funnels. Do you think, and mostly because I'm from Morocco and most of clients work cash on delivery. So do you think it's best to work with, to build funnels with WordPress, or do you think we should convert to ClickFunnels? Which option is the best?
In terms of actually building a web, it depends. Is it a website or is it a funnel?
No, we build funnels.
Yeah, I'd say definitely ClickFunnels or Webflow.
Okay, so because the only thing why we use WordPress, because it gives us more, I mean, the space for design and to be creative more.
Yeah, have you ever used Webflow?
No.
Yeah, Webflow will do that for you. Like yeah, it'll do that for you. Like we build most of our client funnels on Webflow right now. It does take a little bit more expert knowledge though. But if you're well versed with, thingy with WordPress, then you'll have absolutely no issues at all.
Yeah, so because actually my partner is a WordPress expert and he's a designer, so I think it will be easy for him to work on Webflow.
Yeah, and loading like landing page speeds are incredible on there. Also, Facebook has no issues with it. Like we've never had any problems with it. Where sometimes ClickFunnels for client, if you're sending a lot of traffic there, you know, sometimes it can be a little hit or miss. So yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely a good option.
Okay, so according to the way we work with clients, because they are mostly working COD, so cash on delivery, do you think we won't have like a problem in the conversion rate or something if we use, I mean, funnels, if we build funnel with Webflow or ClickFunnels?
No, I think with Webflow will be better.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, you can build beautiful websites with, like, Webflow is kind of a hybrid of WordPress and ClickFunnels.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And I just, sorry, one last question. I mean, in the past like 3 or 4 months, we've been using like working with lead generation for our agency. So we were not doing cold calling or cold emailing, because actually I think that cold emailing is not working in Morocco. So people are not that much interested in opening their emails. So do you think we should just stick with lead gen? I mean, because we built a funnel for our agency, we did a webinar and stuff, or I should try also cold calling?
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't do cold calling. I'd stick to what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. These were all my questions. Thank you for your time, Iman.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
With that.
With that, we bring this to a conclusion. Any questions, always let us know via email or the Facebook group, and I will have this uploaded tomorrow. Have a lovely evening, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.